Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Youngstown Click Be Connected podcast. I am so excited and happy that you guys have joined us today because, as always, we try to bring you things that are going to be relevant to your life and actually make your life more rich in our region. And today we have our guest who is she's like kind of behind, part of the team behind something called the Yo Local app, which you guys may have seen at different businesses. It's a little round orange logo. It says Yo Local app. And so far, when I go to different places with people and I say, hey, do you guys have the app? They're like, no, what is it? No, how's it work? So then I take the time to explain it to them. So today we are explaining it to you because Youngstown Click, you are the most in the know click in the entire region. So we're going to make sure that you are up to date and you know what that Yo Local app is. But just a kind of spoiler alert, you earn free money. You earn free stuff. So the places that you're shopping anyway in the Youngstown proper area, you could actually earn free points. And I love seeing ding, ding, you earn free points. You earn more points. Treat yourself. So I love that. And I would definitely want to share that with you. But our guest, Sarah, she does so much more than that. So before I let you introduce yourself and your official titles and stuff, I'm going to just shout out our sponsors. As you guys know who have listened, we're rounding up season 2, which is so exciting because, I mean, man, we've just talked to so many great people in our region over the last 2 episodes. And from the beginning, Ohio Flame, they are a custom-made fire pit company in Columbiana, and they create custom-made fire pits out of steel. They're like beautiful, made to last for generations. You could put your logo in them. It's going to be the talk of the bonfire. I mean, you know, like I have an old rim in my backyard, right? So imagine when I get a Ohio Flame fire pit in my backyard, it'll just increase the coolness. But yeah, so basically, if you guys are a business or person who loves having people over, especially with fall coming up, check out ohioflame.com. And then here we are once again at the Gallagher building. The exciting thing about the Gallagher is they opened up, they had long-term leases and Airbnbs. Well, because of the explosion that happened down the street, they've had a lot of residents move over. So the Airbnbs are kind of slim right now, but they are opening a brand new restaurant called the Varsity Club of Youngstown. Yeah, and guys, I'm going to explain what this is. I'm like flailing around. It's called the Varsity Club of Youngstown, and it's good. They're going to have an outdoor patio with an outdoor bar on the patio. They're going to have bands come in. It's going to be kind of like a hot spot, but also like a tribute to the fact that this was once a place called Cedars, and so many of the people in Youngstown have been to Cedars or have come to see a band or eaten at Cedars. So yeah, so that's exciting. 23 North Hazel, right on the corner of Hazel and Commerce Street. So be looking out for that. You can find them on Facebook, the Varsity Club of Youngstown. Go ahead and follow them, and that way you'll know as soon as there's a grand opening event advertised, it'll be on there and you'll see that. So with that said, let's introduce Sarah. Sarah, go ahead and introduce yourself and your title, the company that you work for, and then we'll go from there.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I am a Technical Media Intern over at the Economic Action Group. Things that I do, obviously the Yo app is one of the big ones.
Yeah.
I manage the social media for the Yo app. I go out and do outreach for businesses. There's new business in town or like businesses that are already earners but want to start being redeemers on the app.
Okay.
Also just going around and just supporting our earners and redeemers, giving them promo codes, stuff like that.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, so let's talk about the Yo Local app real quick before we go into, guys, real quick. She brought me this and I love it so much. I don't know if you could see this. It is the Youngstown. She 3D printed it. It's basically, if you've ever been down to the Cavelli Center or Ween Park, you'll see a huge version of this. It says Youngstown, and I love it. It's actually on my on the back of my. It's like on the cover photo of Facebook. So I love that you brought this for me. So thank you so much. But she 3D printed this, and there's so many of programs in our local area where if you want to learn 3D printing, you can for free. And if you have an idea in your mind, you can 3D print. It's amazing how much we as Youngstown are at the heart of a lot of the 3D manufacturing and printing with sand even. It's really cool. But anyway, That's a side note. Let's go back to the Yo Loco app. The Yo Loco app is, explain to us a little bit about from the ground floor, if you're explaining it to a beginner.
All right. So I'll give it to you the way that we explain it to businesses when we go to say, hi, we exist.
Yeah, right. Okay.
The Yo app, it is paid for by the city of Youngstown. They are the ones who are giving the money and sponsoring this. It is an app made to support small businesses.
Okay.
The obvious one, like the biggest thing, is that we give cash back. If you go to a business that is on our app and you spend money there, you get back City Bites. Those City Bites, you save them up and you can spend them at redeeming businesses on the app. So a good example would be like, I love Scarcella's.
Everybody does. I've never been there, believe it or not. I need to go.
I love the mushroom ravioli. It's my favorite.
Oh, yum. Okay.
But I will go, and it's one of my favorite date night spots, but I'll go and I'll spend money at Scarcella's, and I will earn money back for that. And then you can go to one of your redeeming businesses. My biggest guilty offender is Mocha House. I have spent so much money at Mocha House.
I think everybody in Youngstown probably has.
But they are both local businesses. Mocha House is a redeemer. So any City Bites I earn, I can go and spend there.
Okay. I see. So when you have the app, does it say, okay, this is a earn points here, but redeem points here? So not everywhere that you earn points can you redeem your points. That's
correct?
Okay.
Earners and redeemers are two different tiers. A redeemer is always going to be an earner, but it's like a square rhombus thing.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So I love this. Now, this surprised me because I love going to Star Supply. It's not a restaurant, but I love, they have so many great deals in there. I love it's like a little treasure hunt in there sometimes. So I went and bought my stuff, and then all of a sudden I was surprised. Ding, you earned City Bites. And I was like, what? This is so cool. So basically a lot of guys love Star Supply, and they might come in from, wherever to go to Star Supply, and you could actually earn City Bites to go redeem at your favorite restaurant. Or now we did mention that it's pretty much the restaurants within the Youngstown city limits. Okay, so it's not like you're going to go to Mocha House in Boardman to redeem them, right? It has to be in Youngstown. Okay, very cool. Okay, so what do? You just download the app?
You download the app, and we'll get to features you can use without linking your card. But to earn the City Bites, you link your card. It's done securely through Plaid. You've probably heard of Plaid for other things before as well.
Okay, explain. I know what Plaid is, but at first I was like, what is this? Can it be trusted? So explain to our viewers or listeners what Plaid is and if it is secure, because it is. You have to stop nowadays and say, I'm about to put in my card information. Is this trustworthy?
Yeah, I don't want to get my money stolen.
Right, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because you learn, don't give your sign-in credentials to anyone. Okay, so explain to us why you chose Plaid. Is it fully secure and that type of thing? It
is fully secure. We like it because it is one of the more well-known things. It has, at least in the Yo app started for COVID. It was started as like a relief for COVID. And since we've had Plaid with it, we've never had an issue.
Okay.
It supports most banks as well. So if you have any of the major banks, it's going to be a thing you can link to. If you have a the smaller banks, there's a good chance it also still will let you link your card.
Okay. So you download the app, and then you have the app, and you're able to see all these different restaurants. So at the very minimum, you could see which restaurants you may not have known about that are on the app, right? Yes?
You also, the secondary part of it, you don't need to link your card to be able to see that we also have event stories and behind-the-counter stories. So...
Oh, that's nice.
We regularly update it with, different things going on at the time in Youngstown.
Oh, I love that. Very nice. Good. Okay, so it's another link to stay in the know and kind of connected in. I love it. Okay, so once they link their card then, so you're going to go to link your card, and then it's going to open up a thing called Plaid, and then you choose your banking institution, and then you sign in with your, how you would do online banking. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're not putting in your card information. You're actually putting in your banking information. Okay. And then you're linked up. So anytime you use that card linked to that account at any of the vendors or businesses, it automatically triggers and the points are added into your account.
Yes.
Okay. I love it. All right. So now when you redeem them, how do you redeem them?
Well, first step one is making sure they're a redeemer, which you can do. When you go on the Yo app, you can filter businesses by only ones that let you redeem. So you can see really fast who are at like businesses you can take these City Bites to.
Okay.
You will go there, you will, place your order and let them know, hey, I'll be paying with City Bites.
Okay.
You will go to your phone, you will go ahead and you'll hit the redeem button.
Okay.
Put in the total they give you. So like if I'm going and I'm getting like a coffee, it's like $3.
Yeah.
It's going to be 367. I'll type in 367 and hit, redeem.
Oh, okay.
And then you will show the confirmation screen to the person who, you're paying the money to.
Right.
And then you're done.
Love it. Just like that.
Easy
Wonderful. Easy peasy. I love it. So you're not like, getting the donut for free, but having to pay the tax. Like it's the total you could put on there. Bing, bang, boom, done.
It is like you're paying with
like an Apple Pay or something like that. I love it. That's so cool. So shout out to the city of Youngstown for offering something like that to really support the small businesses in Youngstown. That's so huge. And during COVID and even the construction time afterwards, it's obviously been a little challenging for some of the businesses. So that's really cool that they offer that. So tell us a little, is there anything else that you feel like people, like a common questions that people have about the Yo Local app before we kind of go into some of the other things that you do?
I think the biggest ones that I want to say, the Yo app is all about supporting businesses, not just through, the earning and the redeeming is also, we try our best to share them on social media. We try our best to show up. A big thing that we're doing right now is Walk Wednesdays. Anybody who shows up to Walk Wednesday gets $10 in City Bites just for doing Walk Wednesday.
Are you serious? Do you know I had that on repeat on my calendar because I was like, I'm going to do this. This is a good motivation to get out there, and I haven't yet to show up. So talk to us about Walk Wednesdays. Walk Wednesdays, they meet up and just walk. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do that. Okay. So tell us, where do you guys meet?
I'm not 100% on that one.
Okay. I know they were meeting at Mocha House for a period of time. How can they find out? Is there like a group, or is it on the website? I
am very sure it's on social media if you look it up. I'm very, very sure. I know we've had to have shared it at least once.
Okay.
My boss is the one who's like, really, he is the Walk Wednesday champion.
Okay, so it is still going on. We just need specifics, which I will find out and I'll post in the Facebook post on this. Okay, so yeah, look, if you guys are listening, just look in the in the long description of this. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So you show up to walk and you get $10 or 10 City Bites. I love that. That's beautiful. So okay. You mentioned your boss. So let's talk about a little bit about what's the organization that you work for and what all do they do?
I work for the Economic Action Group. My direct boss is Daniel Bancroft. He does the operations managing. He is fantastic.
Okay. Okay, and it's Economic Action Group. Is that it's a nonprofit?
Yes, we are a nonprofit. The best way to describe it is we are dedicated to making Youngstown as like a specific, and then Mahoning Valley as like a more vague, nebulous concept, just a better place. Do a lot of like partnerships with the city, with other nonprofits, with the Port Authority.
Wow, that's amazing. And when was it started?
I want to say they were started. I am a bad employee.
No, you are not a bad employee. Okay, first of all, you are an intern, and I love that you came to talk to us about this. So that's so cool because I'm learning about it, and here it is, something that is it right here in Youngstown. I mean, I've heard about it. I haven't really known too much about it. So, okay, so but what all do they do in addition? Like specifics? Anything that that we would recognize, or something that you would think that people should know about?
I think the best way I can concoct this details. It was started as a think tank originally to make Youngstown better with different projects. And then it became its own, entity of a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Different projects we have done. Ones that I've done in recent memory that I really liked. One was the Public Art Survey. You can always contact EAG to get a copy of it if you want to see it. But it was a big labor of love from a bunch of us where we went around, we took pictures of different spots in Youngstown where it looked like a mural could go to make it nice. Like there's a big empty wall, building, stuff like that. So took pictures, found like, is this a vacant building? Who might have this building to contact about painting on it?
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff. I think I had over 200 photos that I put into this book. It is
wow.
It also has a lot of resources on, public art as a whole.
Okay.
I love that book. We worked so hard on it.
That's so beautiful. And did you study, like, I don't know if there is a way to trace it, but like the effect that has on a community to see public art? Like, does it enhance? I mean, yeah, how far did you go into the research? Because that is interesting. Like when you see a beautiful mural and it just creates a beautiful art space, it's beautiful. Same thing with seeing the sunrise or the sunset. You just like, oh, it just does something. Yeah.
It's like a welcoming environment,
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
It's one thing, like, because a lot of the buildings, like, it's one thing if you drive past, like, oh, that's a brick wall that looks kind of drab. But if you see, I think my favorite art that I've seen is, when you drive in through the bridge, that big old mural on, I forget which building it is.
Which bridge? The Ohio building. Yeah, I know exactly. I was thinking the Market Street Bridge. Okay, you're talking South Avenue. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. You're right. It just does something. It really does. Yeah.
Really, it just boosts it up. Makes you go, oh, I love that.
I had family in Canada, and it was in Saskatchewan, and it just I mean, like fields and fields, which I loved. After a while, like, because I'm like, oh, we gotta do this, and then after a while, like my whole being calms down, and I'm like, oh, I just love the nature and all this stuff. But they're, they have barns. Everybody has barns because you have farmland and stuff. And so this family member decided to paint a mural. She was an artist. She painted a mural on her barn.
Aww.
And so when you could come down this little gravel road for like at least a mile out, you could see this beautiful mural, and it always made your heart happy. It was like, because it was well done, it was pretty. But it was like a bright spot in the middle of just fields and gravel road and that type of thing. So yeah, art does something very powerful to a community and to like visually to a person. Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay. So are some of the art murals that we see around town, are they as a result of that?
The one I know that is directly like something we've done in collaboration is Trek Coffee House.
Oh yes. On the Lower West Side. Okay.
They're actually part of a bigger project that EAG does as well, called CPR, Commercial Revitalization Project.
Okay.
Basically, EAG, in collaboration with the Port Authority, they buy buildings that are a little worse for wear. I'll say that.
Okay.
And they do all of the work. Basically, they patch it up, they make it nice, and then they will sell the buildings. All the stress gone to local businesses who need like a brick and mortar place to be.
I love that so much. One day, Youngstown Click will have a brick and mortar. We'll have like a little office, a little meeting space. So all the Youngstown Click, could drop in and man, I dream. Okay. So anyway, all right. So you guys do that, which is beautiful. I love it. Now, how did you get involved?
I got hired because I am a college student, and we like to do things like eat and have job experience.
Right, probably a good idea.
I got hired on originally as marketing and outreach, and I do definitely still do that. I do social media for Yo. I'm constantly going around taking pictures, just finding local businesses. Right now, you're going to see a post about Cornersburg Italian specialties in the next week.
Oh, okay, all right, nice.
But I love that part of my job because I get to go and see all these businesses up close.
Yes.
Try the food or just, meet the owners and just really get to see them.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. And that place has been there for so long, the Cornersburg Italian Specialties. Definitely. Like, I love the mom and pop. Did you see that the company Summer Garden Foods that owns Gia Russa and stuff, they just sold?
Oh.
Yeah. They just sold to like a Canadian subsidiary company. And it's really good for, like multiple millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, which is really good because that's benefit for our local neighbor, right? But I was like a little bit sad because I was like, oh, it's no longer a locally like owned business. It's now a business that's in Youngstown, but whatever, you know what I mean? Like you can't, things happen, but yeah. So, but that was really cool to see though, that like something that was started here in Youngstown, there's so much,
It's like Handles. Handles was like that little local ice cream place, and now you find them like
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And there's so much that like bigger companies can offer, like broader scale distribution, and you know what I'm saying, like when you team up and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. There's so much greatness comes from Youngstown. Like I interviewed Danny Catullo from Catullo Fine Meats, that everybody might remember in Boardman next to Mark's, and just to see like he really out of necessity created a product or a system that he could ship his meats, right? And there was nobody really offering it. So he created this system out of just the hardship and the struggle and the necessity. And now that has just opened up doors where he was able to like, I mean, it's crazy. If you're interested in that or you're familiar with Catullo's Fine Meats, go back and watch that podcast from season 1. Very, very cool story about like another local guy who just did his thing, and then it was noticed by bigger and bigger companies. And now I think he's in New York City a lot and stuff like that. Yeah, it's very cool. Or Boston. Yeah, just very cool. Okay, so you're a marketing major?
I am actually a multimedia communications major.
Multimedia communications. What year are you?
I will be going into my senior year after summer is done.
Got it. And are you a local Youngstown girl?
I am not.
No? Where'd you grow up?
North Carolina.
Oh, okay. All right. On a side note, I hear they're going through a drought right now. Yeah, I just read on Facebook that they're really in need of rain. So if you pray that North Carolina gets rain. Okay, so how did you end up in Youngstown? I love stories of like how people ended up here, because that's kind of like, I love that. Okay, so how'd you end up in Youngstown?
I have
Or
family.
why shoot? Okay.
Both really. I have family that lives over in the Warren area,
Okay.
and that's how you know that I spent too much time in Ohio. It's Warren. It's not Warren. It's Warren.
Warren. Right?
Syllable. But I have family who lives there, and YSU was a lot more affordable than North Carolinian colleges, let me tell you. So,
Really? Okay. All right.
so I moved there, and then ended up moving into Youngstown area proper about 6-ish year month.
Okay. So, okay.
And I've just been here ever since. Youngstown is very much my home. I love it
Nice.
so much.
Yeah.
I've met wonderful people here. I met my fiance here. We have a house here now.
Look at that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love when people can come in and see the beauty of what we have. You know what I mean? And it's been hard work for. Like, I will never, ever underestimate the generations before us that really had to watch a city that they loved crumble and start be shaken and just have no opportunity and stuff. And I hear those stories, and I, give so much credit to the people who stayed. I give so much credit to the people who really built and start turning things around and stuff like that. And I give credit to the people who left because they needed to, but they still have that connection into the city. But I'm so thankful for the rebound. I'm so thankful that we still are a city that outside people can come and love and be a part of, you know what I mean? I love that. Yeah.
Have my roots here now.
I love it. I love it. So then after you graduate, do you have any plans right away?
I know right now I really love my internship. I would love to keep continuing doing the work that I do because, I love the Yo app. I also get to do lots of like little fun, small side projects as well.
Yes. Tell us about this. Tell us about 3D printing.
That was a fun accident, actually. I was one day I was working on there's my hair. I was working on something else, and a coworker came in and said, "Sarah, do you know how 3D printers work?"
Really?
And I had done them before. I spent a lot of time at Oak Hill Collaborative and messed with the 3D printers there. I love them so much. And
give a quick shout out for Oak Hill Collaborative. And again, I did an interview with there, but in case you missed it, Oak Hill Collaborative is a nonprofit organization right next to the Old Southside Hospital on Oak Hill. And they offer free computer classes. They actually offer, if you take 3 computer classes, you could, for free, you could get a free computer, free laptop, or you could walk in the door and get a laptop for $100. It's a refurbished laptop. So they are just doing so much to try to connect people and make sure that nobody's like left out or like, oh, I don't know how to check my email, that type of thing. I just think really good-hearted people. But they also have 3D printing classes. And I watched as they we're showing an older gentleman and a young kid how to do 3D printing. I should have stayed and learned.
You can always come back.
I know, right? So check those out. But so you had spent some time there.
Yes. I spent a lot of time there because I used to live in a studio apartment, and they actually helped me get my band off the ground because at the time, you can't really play the electric bass in a studio apartment. That's not.
No, right? Oh, you're in a band? Oh, come on. See, this just keeps getting better and better. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the Oak Hill Club, but we're coming back to this band. Okay.
But
because they do have like a little studio too there.
Yes, it's fantastic. They've done so much work with it. It keeps getting better. But
oh, and you know what? They just added a podcast. It's a unsolved crimes, local crimes podcast, which I'm so glad that they're doing it because it's facts. It's stuff that needs solved now. So it's not even like you're like hearing about, oh, this happened, and which is cool to learn about history. But it's stuff that like they're saying, here's this and here's this and here's all the pieces. Here's what we know. And now we're looking for the answer. And I love stuff like that because I feel like, it's like sometimes I'm like, I should have been a detective because I get hunches and you know what I'm saying?
Love it.
Yeah. So they just added that too. So check that out. Yeah.
I was so excited when I heard about it. I was like, that's Pat's thing. That is like so absolutely his thing.
Right.
I made me so happy to hear that. But
I'm sure it makes it feel like a kid again too. Because the guy in charge of it, guys, he is a former Youngstown judge. So he's already familiar with law. He's already familiar with court in criminal cases and that type of thing. So yeah.
But tangent on a tangent. But
I know. Okay. All right. Back to your band. Back to the Oak Hill.
But I spent a lot of time doing 3D printing stuff there. I also used to be a part of organizing Hack YSU, and we had 3D printers there as well. So I was like, I've done 3D printing before.
Okay.
That's a thing that I've known how to do. And they said, cool. And long story short, I got to design that, and we got 3D printers. So I get to do 3D modeling. I make models, and we print them out. We have plans to do fundraising with them at some point. I am
love it.
Very sure, but right now, we just have like a nice little stockpile of Youngstown signs. I'm working on a Warren sign right now.
Very cool. I love this so much. So right now it's just something that you guys do and you're learning to be good at. It's not something that people go to the EAG and say, hey, I have an idea. Can I, whatever. At this point, that's not something.
I'm sure you could, depending on what the idea is. I'm very sure it is possible. We can do it.
Okay.
The hot topic right now that I've done a lot of is name tags.
Okay, I love it.
Wish I thought to bring one, but basically just name tags for board meetings. I've done one for the entirety of the Western Reserve Port Authority's board. I've done them for the Economic Action Group's board.
How cool is that? How cool is that? And then, especially if it's a surprise and then they get to walk with their name. Oh, I bet that's so popular.
It is
very, very cool. Wow.
So much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Now you got me thinking. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. So yeah. So I'm a part of a meeting and we actually have like paper name tags that like sit up. They're like folded pieces of paper. So just to like go above and beyond, I should totally do my name like big and just clunk it down in front of me. Oh, that would be so that would be so fantastic because we're all like family there. So it would be a great thing to do just to cause a ruckus. Okay, so in addition to that, you're just so like multi-talented. You're also part of a shortwave radio club. Tell us about that because that's intriguing, and a lot of people probably don't even know. It's like some of these little clubs, people don't even know that they exist, let alone they're here. But it's like sometimes these little clubs that actually enhance people's quality of life. It's something that they like to tinker with, or something that they might be interested in. So talk to us about that a little bit, and then we're coming back to your band. I did not forget the band.
This past weekend was Amateur Radio Field Day.
Okay.
The area that I went to was hosted by the Mahoning Valley Amateur Radio Club. I am a member.
Okay.
It is ham radios. I am very sure, at least definitely some of like the older demographic have at least heard of a ham radio before.
Yeah. Okay.
We all get together and we contest for points. And contesting it means basically you are on the radio and you are communicating with somebody else somewhere else and saying, hey, we talked. This is my call sign. That's my call sign. Awesome.
Wow.
You get more points for different things, like digital radio versus analog radio. People who use Morse code and do their entire interaction in CW is
Wow.
it is so nutty to watch. I went over, it's like, hey, Frank, and Frank was in his zone. He was just typing away like this.
No way. What do they do the Morse code on? Is there like a machine?
There's little keypads. Some people have like the button one. At my station at home, we have like one of the little sidey side ones, like buttons on top too.
Wow. Wow. So in an event of emergency, cell phones are down, signals are down, radio would still, like shortwave radio would still, people would be able to communicate, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That is actually a secondary club that not everybody in the MVARA is in it, but
Okay.
it is its own separate thing with a lot of the same members, is eateries.
Okay.
And that is a club in the area dedicated to I can't talk today.
You're doing great.
Emergency communication.
Okay.
So it's all volunteer amateur radio operators, a lot of which have their own stations. They will make reports and things in the area. Skywarn is like a really big one. You don't have to be in Aries to participate in Skywarn,
Okay.
but just
Skywarn. You're right. We always say Warren. You're like Warren. Okay.
Skywarn is basically you look at the weather and you report stuff. So if we have like the severe thunderstorm we had the other day, people will get onto a Skywarn net hosted by one net control operator, and he will get reports from people like, hey, there is quarter-sized hail over here, or hey, there's flooding here.
Especially for people who love the weather. That's okay. Now, is there a range? So if somebody doesn't have a shortwave radio, how do they hear that?
It depends on like the situation. A lot of people you can get a $25 radio like a Baofeng off of Amazon and you can listen in.
Really? Okay. You just can't, basically the ham radio, you get to announce, you have call, whatever, but anybody with a radio could listen.
Yes.
Wow.
It is very much a radio for the people, as you can listen in no matter what if you have the radio. Our local repeater is W8QLY if you ever want to try to listen in. You need a license to actually transmit on it, but you can always listen.
Really?
So
that is wonderful.
Aries, Skywarn is his own separate thing from Aries. Aries is for emergencies specifically. So, we'll help out if they need communications backup for an event, or if something actually, if it happens, like we are there able to communicate back and forth and help if they need more.
Incredible. So what if, so like if I got if I got a radio, do I go to AM, FM to listen in?
That is one that I feel like I'm going to give you an entire engineering textbook if you let me go down that rabbit hole.
That's impressive, though. Like, look, I love it. I love it because you have like such a social passion to meet people and to do all these businesses and stuff. But then to be able to have that, engineer mind and shortwave radio and learning all that stuff. That's impressive. Very impressive for being such a still young college student. Very amazing.
My 2-year degree for EE sits in the corner and collects dust.
Okay. That's amazing.
But it keeps me connected to that. And you find some wonderful people in the community who do this kind of thing. Everybody,
absolutely.
Especially with Aries, are people who really want to help serve the community in their time of need for events, things like emergencies.
Absolutely. That's incredible. I know that the Amateur Radio Club, they also do a lot of communications for the parking at the Canfield Fair. So that's really cool because they're able to put that into action, and they do it all volunteer, which is just incredible. What a great group of people. And so anybody could really look that up and kind of start going to the meetings and kind of join in a little bit.
They will always be, I cannot overestimate this at all. They are so genuinely thrilled to help people get into it.
Wow, because, I love it.
A lot of people don't know that ham radio exists, or it's just not as popular. But if you show up and say, "Hey, I want to learn the radio," they'll be more than happy to help you.
I love it. So you hear these and now we're going off on a tangent. That's what we do. Okay, so you hear these advertisements about saving AM radio, and write into your congressman, write into your senator, let them know we need AM radio for emergencies and for communication and stuff. Do you have anything to say about that? Is that something that people are really why would somebody even be trying to do away with AM radio? Do you have any input on that? I just hear the commercials and I'm like, why would somebody be attacking AM radio?
I don't have a solid answer for you because I am very much of the I'm part of the camp that's like I press the buttons and I talk to somebody in Mercer County.
Okay. Okay. All
My
right.
favorite is that I made a contact. I managed to in the YSU Amateur Radio Club. I managed to contact somebody in Japan over radio. It was fantastic. I was
Okay.
so excited.
I was going to ask you that. So what? Okay. Let's just say there's a group like the Warren group that looks at the weather and stuff like that. Let's just say they're in Florida, Pensacola, Florida. Okay. And I want to hear what's going on in Pensacola because I have friends down there. Okay. Can I tap into that signal or that doesn't?
It depends on how they have it set up.
Okay.
So going back to your question about talking on the things.
Yeah.
There are a few different ways like that an antenna can be configured. The main thing is that you have to have the correct tones and frequencies for things.
Okay.
So like W8QOY, I'd have to pull up my radio to tell you the numbers because I could not tell you.
Okay, that's okay.
Some antennas, it's also why you can't, just like listen to a fighter drone like with their comms between each other. Like they have tones that you have to put in correctly to be able to access what they're saying.
Okay. So understanding it, you could probably make it happen, but you have to understand the tones and the frequencies and all that stuff.
The thing is that the fun part is that you can talk to freaking anyone on the regular like bands. Like this past weekend, I did a lot of time on the 15-meter band. We had a lot of people brought their own antennas for the field day, so I got to talk to people. I've made contacts in Alabama. We got every single continental United States state except for Alaska in the span of a day.
Wow.
I'm actually I'm kind of salty about Alaska. That was the last state we needed was Alaska.
And there was nobody just participating, or was the signal not being able to be reached?
That's the hard part. There was somebody in Alaska, but they couldn't hear us every time we tried.
Oh man. Oh, wow. That's so funny. How much is truly going on in the city that we love, and you just don't know unless you look. I love that. Thank you for taking the time to share that with us. It's intriguing, and I probably would have never just Googled that. So I love that.
It's like a secret, I swear. Although I think if you want to learn more about it locally, I know they usually have a booth at Silly Science Sunday that
Okay.
WOW puts on. So if you're curious about that.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So now let's get back to kind of a way like the small businesses and the Yo Local and the things that the EAG does, right? So what have you seen is maybe like the biggest challenge of small businesses in our region or the areas that you or city?
I think it's a twofold thing that I've seen from the businesses that I've spoken to. One is that, how do I put this in like a polite manner? Sometimes people just don't want to go to Youngstown.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
We're not as busy when the college kids aren't here. Depending on who your local clientele is,
Yeah.
it can be a bit more challenging.
Okay.
The YSU is so important to the city. YSU
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So that would be just people going out of their way, even though it's not necessarily out of their way. I mean, Youngstown is kind of like the hub of different things, but okay. So people aren't coming here to just come here is what you're seeing.
There's some things like very much are landmark attractions. Like I know, oh wow, like all the museums are very good at pulling in people who like want to come see stuff. But
Okay.
I know that, I don't know, YSU is not in session. Some businesses, like it is a bit harder when like people aren't here.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So that's one of the biggest challenges of
That's
small
one of
businesses.
them.
Okay. And what's the second?
We need to market. You are doing like the best thing ever for a lot of these businesses. It's just,
Oh, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that.
I know that like one business that we've spoken to, they are not on the app yet, but
Yeah.
they are really interested in it because they're a local thrift store that just opened up and they're having trouble like saying like, hey, look, we're open. We're here.
God, is that Good Vibes?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I've been meaning to stop in there because, okay. So just in case you're listening, there's they have, I haven't been there, but, it's called Good Vibes. It's on the Lower Mahoning, and they seem to really take a lot of like care into like making sure their store looks great. It's locally owned then?
Yes.
Okay. I love
The
that.
owner was like the sweetest person ever. We talked about PlayStation for probably an inordinate amount of time, but
Okay. All right. Now, what do they have in there? Did you go in?
yes.
Okay. So do they have like clothes and household? I mean, is it like just any average thrift store or?
They had a lot more gaming stuff than I was expecting.
Really?
Like lots of
Okay.
retro games. There was a Wii I had my eye on.
No way. There was a Wii. I used to love the Wii. Oh my
That was my
goodness.
childhood.
Because you could put the little controllers into like the other things. And like, oh my goodness. These kids I babysat at the time, they had Dawn of the Dead. Which, yeah, oh my goodness. I was like, like shooting the zombies, like whatever. And then like when I think like, I mean, we made it so far up the levels, but when we finally died, I was like, I don't see how like these kids are just like, nah. Like they're so like deadpan playing. I'm like, what is going on? Because I'd be like, oh, shoot him, hurry, you know, like or whatever, which is so bad.
I can't play Minecraft without jumping. Like,
That's so funny. I feel like Minecraft is so boring. I don't have the attention span for Minecraft. I'm like, you put 10 blocks on top of each other. Yay. And then you defend it from another little figure coming in like, but these kids, I mean, millions of people love it. So I'm obviously either totally, yeah, you know, it could be one of those things that if I ever picked it up, I'd be like, don't bother me.
it depends on what you play it for too, I think.
Yeah.
I like to make stuff.
Oh, okay.
I will sit there for 12-hour intervals and just make this elaborate castle made of brick for no reason.
That's my nephews. Oh my goodness. And they're like, they will be like, oh, look at this I made. And they'll start showing me around. And I'm like, I don't even know where we're going. What are we going into one room and then another room? And like, okay, I see the stairs. Like, I'm like, what are you, okay. You know, like, it's so funny because they're like so proud of this. And then they're like, oh, like in the middle of it, they're like, oh, we don't want this wall anymore. Knock it down. Oh my goodness. So funny. So, but yeah, but I loved Guitar Hero.
Yes.
I did love Guitar Hero. I wish they would bring the Guitar Hero back.
I mean, if you want to go like hardcore about it, there's always Rock Band.
Yeah, I still have the drums and the guitar from Rock Band. So funny. Oh my goodness.
There's one game I love to play. I caught my fiance one time with my guitar, Rocksmith. You can get it on for your computer, and it's like a specialty cable. You can plug in it's like Guitar Hero with a real guitar.
Oh,
you
wait.
plug in your actual guitar, and you can play real guitar.
I think
Guitar
Joseph,
Hero
our
style.
cameraman, was telling me about that, right? Rocksmith. Yes, yes.
I love it. It's
Wow. Okay, yeah.
fun way to practice bass for me.
Okay, so yeah, now let's go to your band. Let's finally. Okay, talk to us about your musical career.
I don't think it's too crazy impressive. It's my fun, happy hobby. It keeps me sane.
Yeah.
But
You play bass.
Yes, I play bass. We take turns on who does vocals because we're both like, we're not singers. We just do the thing, but.
Really? So you play bass and he plays guitar?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
If you go into Oak Hill, you'll see the little statue there with like the two little characters on it. And
That's you and him? Oh my goodness. That's so cool. Now what does he do? If unless he likes to
my
stay
brain
private.
just froze for a second. He's a bit more private, but like at least for the band, we split things pretty evenly. He does a lot more of the audio production side of things because I do a lot of the graphics work.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. And then how can people see you or hear your music?
We are Brimtone. B as in boy, Rimtone, Brimtone.
Brimtone. Okay, all right. And what kind of, is it like more like rock music? And do you write your own lyrics?
Rock music. We have original stuff in progress right now. It's just us doing fun covers from time to time. We do a lot of live streaming in conjunction with it.
Oh, very cool. Okay, and then do you play like live, like out and about, or you do mostly online stuff?
Mostly online. It's our fun little way. Especially because for him, he tries to keep his stuff separate from like his job.
Yeah. Okay. So
I can understand, but
totally 100%. Yeah. And I mean, booking gigs and showing up and setting up and tearing down. I mean, that's a lot. It definitely is a lot,
We would love to at some point because we've talked about it because he used to be a roadie for people. Like he used to be the person who would help with that. He's played live before. He has tried multiple times. Now I was like, come on, Sarah, you got to get over your nerves to make me go play at the jam nights at like Noble Creature and stuff. It's like,
okay. Jam nights at Noble Creature are so impressive. I love them. Is it still every other Wednesday?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So Noble Creature is up here on the north side of Youngstown. and it is like a brew house, but they have non-alcoholic drinks as well. Do they have food there now?
If you go to
Really?
if you go to the Yo app social media right now,
Okay.
I just did a post with, like, a bunch of their different foods. If you want to see some really pretty pictures of the food,
Okay.
it's
Is it amazing?
it's
Okay, so so every other Wednesday, it's hosted by a band called Censored Color. Excuse me. And what they do is if you're a musician or even beginning a musician, or you just have an instrument that you kind of like fiddle around with, but you don't really have a chance to play with other people, you could show up, and then what happens is these like organic conglomerations of musicians start playing, and they'll play for a little bit, and then one will go leave, and another one will come and sit in, and so literally in the course of one night, it is phenomenal because it's like you're listening to 5 or 6 different bands.
It is such a special feeling.
Beautiful.
Especially as a musician, like just playing with others. I miss being in an orchestra.
Oh, you were in an orchestra. Okay.
I played the viola first since age 7, so like that's like my.
Wow.
If I go to a jam night, I'd probably play that over my bass, as ironic as that sounds.
Now you're making me listen. It still pops up in my calendar, jam night, but I think I'm like off like the weeks. You know what I'm saying? So guys, I'm going to check that out, and I'll put that in a post as well. So, but yeah, so you and him will do jam nights, and you feel
there.
comfortable doing that? Just maybe not being like the center of attention.
If I'm playing like an instrument I am like super confident in, like it's very much like there's like very little communication that needs to be done. Mainly it's just like, hey, we're playing in G. Like stuff like that on occasion. So everybody's like not, off playing their, discordant harmonies out of sync. And like, you can kind of tell, like you can play kind of close attention to the musicians. You can kind of see like they'll nod at each other. Like, so like, we're going to be background. You can like do your jammy thing kind of a thing. Like
that amazes me because you guys have never played together before. As far as like in those open jam nights. So how do you know, do you just flow? Is that what happens? You just flow.
You flow. There's sometimes little communications like, hey, we're going to switch to this key, or like, hey, I'm going to hop off in a few minutes. But like, for the most part, they don't even use words. Like, you just like notice. Like,
no, I know.
They'll nod or use some sign thingies, and it's like.
What instrument leads the way?
Honestly, it depends.
Really?
My favorite jam night I think I've been to, a girl brought, I think it was her trumpet. And
she led the way with the trumpet.
She led the way for a while, then she was a support trumpet. And like, you really can never tell, because like sometimes somebody brings a freaking trumpet, and honestly, it's like such a cool feeling. But
Incredible. Man, oh man. That is so, yeah, I need to get back. I'm going to, yeah. You guys might see me at jam night. And so if you're listening, check it out. And if you see me at jam night, come sit at the table. That would be fun. We should do a Youngstown meetup at a Youngstown Click meetup at jam night.
It'd be so fun.
It would be fun. It would be fun. And they're great people. That Censored Color Band, really good people. They're connected with the Youngstown Swing Club. Just a lot of musician artists, just a lot of that vibe, the Youngstown local scene, So, okay. So the name of your band one more time?
Brimtone.
Brimtone. Okay. All right, guys. So Brimtone, check them out on YouTube.
YouTube, the website is just brimtone.com too, if you want like easy peasy right there.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. I love that. I mean, I never knew, I never even heard of Brimtone, but yeah, I've had a conversation with you. So, and again, this is why this is so beautiful, these kind of conversations, because you could find out so much about a person. Like I have you in my mind as Sarah from Yo Local app, but we just got into so much more. You're like a Renaissance woman. My goodness. Like unbelievable.
I get bored really easily. I need to have tasks.
Yes. Well, let me just say, I'm glad Youngstown is like, blessed to have you in it. Like you could have gone to any city and we got you. So that's great. Okay. So as we round this up a little bit, we've hit on a lot of things, so many things. I'm going to have so many links in the description. Like we talked about this. Okay. But let's specifically talk about the places that you would recommend to your family and friends to check out when they come to Youngstown, or just like a hidden gem that you're like, you guys, if you haven't been here yet, or just a place you go all the time that you're like, hey, I just want to shout them out.
Okay, I know you gave me a specific number, and I couldn't narrow it down to like this number.
All right. So some people, I don't warn about this question. I just dump it on them. But Sarah, I warned, so she had time to think about this.
Okay, so number one, I'm biased. I always get Mocha House is the first one because I work there as a cook on Saturdays, and
That's why I never see you
lovely
down
people.
there, because you're a cook. She said she worked at Mocha House in Youngstown, and I'm like, how come I've never seen her? Okay.
I'm hiding in the back.
Yeah. Hey, just doing your thing. That's amazing. Okay. So Mocha House in Youngstown.
Yes.
Okay.
The most positive work environment I've ever been in. Everybody there is just a genuinely sweet person, and I love them all to pieces, and the food's really good.
Oh,
I
what
love
a beautiful thing to say, man. So Callie, if you're listening, I'm sure you feel really good. She was so good to us. We actually had our second Youngstown Click mug swap at the Mocha House, and she was just so good to us and so opening, with her arms and stuff like that. And hopefully they get to stay down there. I know there's Eastern Gateway closing kind of creates a little bit of chaos, but I hope that they really get to stay there. So.
I love them so much. They're wonderful people.
That's great. That's amazing.
Get the blueberry lavender lemonade. It's my favorite thing.
Oh, is it?
It's at my desk in the office. I was like, do I want to bring this with me today? Like, no,
because I want it when I come back. Man, for an employee to say that about their employer, that's huge. That's really cool.
It is such a magical place to work just because of how positive, and I'm just so happy that I get to work there.
That's amazing. Amazing. Listen, you keep going on much more, and I'm going to lose my cameraman. He's going to be like, I'm going to work for Mocha House. He's like, I'm out of here. All right. And then 2 more places or a couple more places.
Few more. Noble Creature is another one.
Okay.
Amazing food. The jam nights are great. The owners are just very sweet people. I love the
Nice.
spiced potatoes. The potatoes are so good.
So so is there another little restaurant in there, or is it their food, like their
It is
kitchen?
their food.
Wow. That's really good, because I know that they had tried a few different collaborations. So that's really great, and it's good.
It is. Everything is like handmade to the best quality. It is. I'm hungry. This is sick of me.
I know, man. Sounds good. Okay, so if you want to see the pictures, they could go to the Yo Local app and check out those pictures. Is what you said, right?
They're on our social media, so our Facebook and our Instagram.
Okay, good. Okay.
We have pictures. Spiced potatoes. We got a meat and cheese board that I will always make I don't intend to, but I always make the name of it sound like a swear word. I swear.
Oh, charcuterie.
I'm trying not to do that.
The charcuterie board. Okay.
So we got some spiced potatoes and asparagus for me because I don't eat meat.
Okay.
But everybody else that went with me, they got the mussels, they got the meat cheese board, they got
Oh,
other
wow.
stuff
They have
too.
mussels?
They love
That's
them.
unexpected.
They slaughtered those mussels. Like there were
Really?
none left at the end.
Wow. Okay, so is it pretty much like small plate? Like the whole, kind of like grazing food? Or is it like you could go there for lunch?
You can go there for both. We got grazing stuff because we went as EAG as a group because I was like, guys, I need Noble Creature pictures. We're going as a unit. But
Nice.
But you can also I want to try their walnut. There's a vegan burger they have that I really want to try. But
Really? And it's made from walnuts?
I think that was one of the ingredients in it. I have to look at
Wow.
before I tell you a complete lie.
Yeah. No, I love stuff like that that's made from all natural stuff. I don't like the Impossible Burger. It's so processed. If you look into it, it's so not good for you. But like the mushroom farm, the tip of a cap mushroom farm. Oh my goodness, they made me 3 different types of mushrooms. And I watched them make them. Okay, all they did was pick the mushrooms out of their mushroom farm, take them upstairs, slice them, put them in a pan with olive oil, salt, and pepper. That's it. Right?
You're making me so hungry.
Oh my goodness. Listen, I would have thought I was eating a piece of chicken and bacon. It was so good that I was like, is there any more? I was so shocked. Because, sometimes you think, eating stuff like that, you're like, it's palatable, but it was delicious. And so, so anyway, a burger made from walnuts, that would be very interesting if that is true. But you're not saying that. I know, right? Okay. All right. So Noble Creature. Okay.
Another one, if you just like food, Eusteria, I think it's how you say it.
Yosteria, yes. Well, that's how I say it. Some people say Yosteria. Some people say Yosteria. I'm like, I don't think that's it.
I keep getting it messed up, and every single time my coworkers go, because I say it wrong.
Wait, so how is it supposed to be? Do you know the proper one?
I
say Yosteria. The way it's like written, Yosteria, right? Like hysteria,
Yeah.
but Yosteria. Yeah.
That's how I'm digging my heels down on that, but I might be wrong, and I might when this goes live, I might have my whole office looking at me like, Sarah,
Like
one
seriously.
job.
Okay, but I have to second that. But go ahead, tell us about it.
Delicious. They're right next to YSU, like right next to it.
Yeah.
It was easy peasy for me to always find it because it was right next to the Wick Deck, the Walnut Street exit.
Yes. So MVR would be another landmark place.
Yes.
It's literally right down the side street from MVR.
They have so much good food. The favorites that we always order, because it's another EAG favorite. We love to go there as a unit.
Nice. Okay.
I love bread. They have really good bread.
Oh my goodness.
We will usually go there. We'll get like 2 different kinds of bread, olives, the meat cheese tray, sometimes a pizza. I like it's like the Napoleon bread something, but it was like Nutella and bread. They also had like this honey and cheese covered bread. It was delicious. I love bread. I'm a carbohydrate.
Oh, yeah. That's probably why you're so energetic.
I had Mocha House right before this.
But you were like, I hate sitting still. I hate being bored, right? It's because you're always like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
I literally was like, I do not want to be sleepy because I just woke up. We're getting Mocha House. So I got Mocha House literally right before this, and I ate like a hash brown and like my lemonade thing right before. I'm full of energy.
You're full of energy. You're ready to go. Okay, so just a little quick thing about Yosteria is he traveled into Italy, spent time in Italy studying the culture, he is Italian, but studying the way they did things and how it's different from even some of what we know as Italian American food. And then he went to California, or maybe vice versa, but he spent time in California, studied the wines, studied the different things. So everything that he offers here, he has his own wine, he has his own pizzas. They're like more Italian style, like a flatbread style. But everything that he does is a specific brand to who he is. He's not he didn't just open a restaurant to have a place to eat. He's opening it to be like to have an authentic Italian vibe. He set up the backyard.
It's beautiful.
Oh, I haven't been there since the rest of the renovations, but you've been there recently. Oh,
there's also, if you stalk the EO Instagram and Facebook, last summer I posted a picture from there, like the lights up at night.
Oh,
it is
it's so beautiful.
Pretty.
It is. And it's set in an old house. And the cool thing, sometimes the more you know, the more you appreciate. The cool thing is it's set in the neighborhood he grew up in, Smoky Hollow. And so the house that he grew up in is torn down, but he was able to get one of the original houses and one of the few houses left standing. And he just renovated it. So it's set in an old house. So when you go to the backyard, it's literally like going to somebody's backyard. And just the dream that he had. I met him when he was over in Cornersburg.
Ooh.
And that was his dream. Like at that point, he said his dream was to open up in Smoky Hollow and make it like kind of like a respect the neighborhood that he grew up in. And just to see that it's done and being done is so beautiful. And I have not been there lately, so I need to go check it out.
You should. It's so. I want some bread now.
Yeah,
so
I know. You're just like making us all. We're like so hungry. We need some good music and some good food now because of her. Okay, and you said you might have more. So what else you got?
I will. That you actually gave me a perfect lead-in for what I'm going to cut myself off as, but that's the last one. That's West Side Bowl.
Oh, okay. All right. What do you like at West Side Bowl?
They also have a fantastic music scene. They are always looking for local bands to bring in and like have for supporting. It's wonderful. They have lots of just different events as well.
They have a good crowd following too. Like it seems like it brings in the viewers. You know what I mean? People too. So
they're very, very welcoming people. They're wonderful. Every time I've gotten to speak to the owner, he's been like the sweetest person on the planet. The food is incredible. I love the food.
They invented pickle pizza. Like he told Youngstown Click the story of how pickle pizza came to be. It was an accident, and he said this lady called and ordered pickles on her pizza, and they were like, "Oh, okay." So they make this pizza, and then she never came and picked it up, and so they were like closing, and they were just so hungry, so they were like, "Oh, okay," and they ate it, and they were like, "Oh my goodness!" So then they perfected it, and it's got to be like a certain. The pickles can't be too mushy. They can't be too crunchy. It's got to be like the perfect thing. And yeah, there's a whole story, but yeah, he is very he really, him and his wife, they really took just an old bowling alley that was going to shut down and really has turned it around into like a whole event thing and a following. And I mean, people always hanging out on the patio. Have you played there?
I have. Not music, bowling.
Bowling. Okay.
You just reminded me, you gave me the chaotic good version of a food story. You made me think about the time at Mocha House. We were working. It was about to be closed and somebody ordered a burger, but they wanted peanut butter and jelly put on it.
Oh my.
And my coworker was like, that's so strange. It has to be secretly good, right? No, it was not.
It was probably a pregnant person who couldn't get anybody to go pick it up for her. That's probably what happened. It was gross.
That's all I could think about. I was like, there's the chaotic good version of that outcome.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It was like, there's always got to be that's probably why it's so rare. It's such a good story. That's so funny. Ew. Peanut butter and jelly. But you know what also is weird is the jelly on turkey, which is a thing. It's called
like
something.
Cranberry sauce, kind of, or
maybe that's where it's going. And I honestly haven't tried it, but I see it and I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. But I do love cranberry sauce with turkey. So maybe that's what they're replicating. So maybe I shouldn't knock it.
Thank you for telling me that you like cranberry sauce. Where I grew up, it's like part of the Thanksgiving staple.
Yes, you have to have it.
My in-laws, they started buying it for me specifically, but they didn't have it. I was like, cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving, and I was so confused.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. So here's a question from the outside in. Do you call like Pepsi and Coke? Do you call it Coke? Do you call it pop, or do you call it soda?
It's soda.
Oh man. All right. So have you run into, you know what? That's getting a little bit with the younger generation. It's not as dramatic, but oh man, it used to only be pop here. And then when I went to school in Oklahoma, I would say, do you guys have pop? Do you have pop? And people are like, what are you talking about? And then in some parts of like the South, they'll just say, hey, do you want a Coke? Mm-hmm. And it's not Coke. It's a pop. It's, you know what I'm saying?
I got into a mild debate when I first moved here. My aunt said, hey, Sarah, can you sweep the floor? I was like, sure. And I grabbed a broom and I started sweeping the kitchen floor. She's like, no, sweep the floor. It's like, I'm sweeping. It's a broom.
Yeah.
She's like, no, sweep. Get the sweeper.
Oh, the sweeper instead of the vacuum. That's so funny. Or like supper. I grew up and it was supper. Dinner was what the classy people said. You're like, who's ready for supper? You know, and it's dinner. It's so funny. All those little things like, yeah, so many, when I relive it, like my grandpa used to say, heavens to Betsy. I don't know if anybody has ever, whatever, but I heard one random older person say, heavens to Betsy. And I was like, oh, I love you.
You
like,
talk normal.
So there's just so many like linguistic area things that sometimes fall by the wayside until somebody just, it doesn't,
It makes me so happy when I go to visit home because my family's all in the Carolinas. It's like I'll go down the second you hit like the Appalachian and you just hear somebody say, hey, you want some oil for your car? Like, you talk normal.
That's
makes
so
me
funny.
So happy.
I get, I'm so not familiar with the Carolina accents. Now, Maine, I noticed Maine will substitute A's for ers and ers for A's. So they'll, instead of saying like, do you want a glass of water? They'll say water. They'll say, you want some water? Right? And if something's supposed to be with an A, they'll add the ER. It's like a flip-flop. It's so funny. But they have good whoopie pies and good lobster, so I'm not complaining. I will put up with their accent any day.
My British friend confused the crap out of me one day because we were comparing grocery prices because Britain, obviously, it's going to be different. And she said, so how much does mince cost? I was like, what is mince? What are you talking about? She's like, wait. No, I got this. How much is ground beef there?
They call it what?
Mince.
Mince. Really?
MINCE, mince. I was so lost.
I never knew that. Mince. Yeah, it sounds like minced garlic or something. That's so funny. Wow. I never knew that.
Their Domino's desserts are better than ours, but we have way better like entrees than theirs. We had like a whole morning just comparing fast food chains.
That's hilarious. I had McDonald's in Brazil and I was like, oh, what is this? And then when ketchup in America was less sweet and it was it was sugar and like vinegar. So you had that little, I'm not even gonna say it wasn't vinegar, but like ketchup was supposed to not be like syrupy sweet. Now, it's so sweet. It's way too sweet.
Like frosting.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you guys? Like, but anyway, I went up to Canada one summer and went to Burger King, opened the ketchup packs, went like this, and I was like, oh, what is this? Something's wrong with this ketchup. And my mom said, no, it's just sweeter up here. Like, it's just literally, and now it's like that in the United States. I'm like, man, guys, come on, like stop dumping sugar and everything. But anyway, yeah, now I will do without most ketchup because it's just too sweet. It's not supposed to be sweet.
I prefer barbecue sauce for a lot of stuff. I'm not going to lie.
Now maybe I would do that because there's still a tang, there's still a tartness or whatever that.
Fries and barbecue sauce is the best combo. Like if we have extra fries at work and like, I need a snack, that's what I go for. I'll just put barbecue sauce on them. Bam, there we go. Beautiful
I should try that next time. I should try that. Yeah, because I very rarely use ketchup anymore. Believe it or not. Anyway, wow, we went on tangents. And that's how we're ending. Is ketchup is too sweet? In breaking news and other news. But no, thank you, Sarah. Is there anything else that you would like to add as far as like how to reach out, how to connect to the EAG, who should connect, or if a local business, which most businesses within city limits probably already have met you, but in the event not, is there any of those things you would like to add?
So I don't feel terrible. A quick shout out to the wonderful team. Stephanie from the city, obviously. My boss, Daniel Bancroft, he's fantastic. Grace Persing, my fellow intern in crime. You know, we go around talking to the businesses together.
Nice.
And then Christopher, I do not want to butcher your last name, but he is our Kolu rep. We talk to him for anything with Kolu, the developer of the app.
Okay.
We love Christopher. He is the most positive person on the planet. He makes Mondays fun.
Really? Hey, that's great. You sounds like you have a good team. Very good team.
Very much. I love all of them so much.
That's great. Real quick, so if they do experience any kind of technical problems with the app, who do they reach out to?
We do have support. You can always obviously contact, through the support there. We have support through Kolu. Our businesses, we do have like direct means of communication with the businesses who are on the app. They can email like Chris directly, email us directly.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so they're able to say, hey, I have a problem leaking my bank, or I have a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will actually go for businesses as well. We will go in person if they need help with any step of the process. Like you can just shoot us an Instagram message or at Facebook. I don't know, Facebook for you, like you can't really message business to business anymore on Facebook.
Yeah, they changed quite a bit. They've made it harder to tag. They've made it, it's a little bit.
It's made my job a little harder with Facebook communication, but yeah, just message us, Economic Action Group. If you go to there and like contact through that, I'm very sure you can find a contact through that. If you have Instagram, talk through that. Like we will absolutely come down and help you with any step of the process. We really want to help our local businesses.
Very cool.
We really pride our app and the ability to be like a one-stop place for everything. It's like, look at our app for events, see what's going on around you.
Good.
Don't forget the Greater Youngstown Italian Fest and Picklepalooza are coming up.
Okay, now do the app can like food trucks connect with the app, like use the app? Like let's just say a food truck's in Youngstown all the time. Can they, or whatever, they have to have brick and mortar within the city limits?
I'm pretty sure it's brick and mortar, but I don't want to lie to you.
Yeah. I just thought of that because, all those things, there's plenty of vendors and all that stuff. But
although we do have businesses that they do go out to things like Youngstown Flea a lot. So I could be crazy wrong. Like feel free to reach out and ask us when I, have, Daniel next to me who says, oh yes, Sarah, here's how this works because I am.
Right. Okay. So if you have a question about it, reach out because the worst you could hear is no, not right now. But you may be able to take advantage of at least being listed on the app or something.
We will always, if you are in city limits of Youngstown, Youngstown proper, we will gladly list you. We'll help you every step of the process. If you want to be a redeemer,
Love it.
We will send people down and talk to you in person because a lot of business owners, they're not the tech. If you're not tech savvy, we do not mind coming down with all the paperwork, by hand filing it for you.
Very cool. Very cool. I love that. Well, yet another great organization, great group of people doing great things for our region, trying to make it better, creating connections, just enhancing your quality of life because the more connected you are, the better everybody is. You are part of that connection. It's not happening around you. It's not happening without you. You are needed to complete the greatness of our region. And this is yet another way to connect in and to make sure that you're connected to the local businesses, to the local scene, to the events going on. I love that. Thank you for what you do. Good luck in everything that you do. Definitely check out the different businesses that we have talked about. There's so much that you know, and amateur radio. I mean, just so many different avenues that you should not be sitting around bored. But if you are, I always say boredom is a seedbed of creativity, and it may be in that boredom that you have the next great idea for our region. So wherever you are, whatever you do, never forget that you are the best part of what makes Youngstown click. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to you guys later.